Good morning, students. Welcome back. Before I start, today I am going to tell you some important information. That is, today we will finish this chapter, and after this, there will be a test. Please listen to me carefully. The test will be based on multiple choice questions only. Okay? No short, long, very short, etc., etc., etc. question will be there. Only MCQs will be there. Clear? And the syllabus of the test will be this whole chapter, that is French Revolution. If you have the book, you go through it. Otherwise, follow my lectures. That will be enough. And it will be better if you go through the book, NCERT book, because all the questions will be based on the NCERT books only. Okay. For more detail, I will give you the written syllabus and everything after this lecture in PDF file. So please follow the PDF file. Okay. Understand everybody? Fine. Now we will start the chapter. So today we are going to learn conclusion of this chapter. First, we will learn that what happened at last in France, because there were several changes after French Revolution, one government after another government. So what happened at last? And in the second part, we are going to learn that the influence, the effect of French Revolution in the world and in the different countries of Europe. Okay, so let's start the conclusion. I told you earlier that after the downfall of Jacobin government, there was a directory government. And again, the directory government was most unstable government. And as the directory government was most unstable government, the political condition of France was quite unrest. And due to all these, that is, due to this unstable political condition, at last, in 1804, Napoleon Bonaparte, a military dictator, crowned himself as the Emperor of France. Okay, so Napoleon Bonaparte, a military dictator, came to the power as the head of the country, head of France, that is, in the year 1804. And he set out, after coming to the power, he set out to conquer neighboring European countries, disposing dynasties and creating kingdoms where he placed members of his family. So this is how Napoleon came to the power. When Napoleon came to the power, he was appreciated by the people of France as well as the people of the neighboring country. In fact, Napoleon was appreciated as the liberator. Now, why he was appreciated by the people? Because Napoleon saw his role as a modernizer of Europe. That's why not only the people of France, but the people of different countries of Europe appreciated him. He introduced many new laws, and all these laws were very good and positive for the common people. Like, he introduced standardized weight and measurement. He introduced a Napoleonic code, introduced new way of, education, transportation, etc. As a result, he was appreciated as a liberator. Rather, people of different countries started telling him as the harbinger of liberty. But Napoleon did all these for his country and the countrymen, not for the people of other countries. So, very soon, the a new problem came into existence. What was that problem? The problem was, initially, many saw Napoleon as a liberator who would bring freedom for the people. I'm asking about the people of other country. But soon the Napoleonic army came to be viewed everywhere as an invading force. Means, from harbinger of liberty, he was considered as an invader. And finally, at the Battle of Waterloo in 1815, Napoleon was defeated. Okay, so this is how Napoleon came to the power and he lost his power. What after? We'll continue with this.